So, Strong Opinion Sports has a store, shirts, hoodies, everything. It's all on sale until the end of November. Go buy stuff. The Lions have fired their head coach, Matt Patricia. They also fired their general manager, Bob Quinn. And it makes sense. I look at it and go, yeah, like I understand they really haven't done very well. They haven't been very competitive. The Lions ownership just wanted this year to see if they could make a push at the playoffs. If they made the playoffs, I felt like they were going to get another year. Because they didn't, they're now out. It's just like, I get why. The losing to the Texans on Thanksgiving was the last straw. On Saturday morning, it was announced they have fired the general manager and head coach. And here's all I ask, please. I'm begging the Lions ownership at this point. Please move Matthew Stafford. Please trade him. Please. It doesn't make sense to release him. Trade Matthew Stafford. That's all I'm asking. Please. The Lions have rebuilt around Matthew Stafford not once, not twice, but 3 different times. And why do it a 4th time? You're gonna rebuild around Matthew Stafford for a 4th time during his career. It's horrible. It's sad. Please trade Matthew Stafford, draft a young quarterback, and get a new head coach in there. But I don't think you do any justice to Matthew Stafford by trying to rebuild around him again. It's just I want to see Matthew Stafford have somewhat of a positive end to his career. And it's been such a disappointing set of years for Matthew Stafford. I go, man, please trade him away. Get him in a different situation. You've tried it so many different times to build around him, to bring new coaches in. And I just don't see why is it going to be different this time? I don't understand why the Lions think if we keep Matthew Stafford, we get a new head coach, this is the time. Everything's going to change and be different. You have a good quarterback who has been had years and years of his career wasted. And it's disappointing to me. Now, the number one reason why Matt Patricia failed as the head coach of the Lions was he was inauthentic. He wasn't himself. He tried to be something, rather tried to be someone that he wasn't. I remember he came from New England. He was a understudy under Bill Belichick. In fact, he was Bill Belichick's defensive coordinator. The problem is he tried to copy Bill Belichick. He was not doing his own thing. He didn't have the resume to get away with pretending to be Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick's style only works for one person, Bill Belichick. He's got a cold demeanor. He's very harsh. His style, his personality only works if you have won a lot in the past and can prove it. I think Bill Belichick's kind of a unique thing. You can't duplicate and copy Bill Belichick. It doesn't work. It's never worked. We've seen lots of people leave New England, try to be a head coach, and fail because they tried to do it Bill's way and it didn't work. Now, there is another New England protege who is working in the NFL. In fact, he even did the same role Matt Patricia did in New England. He replaced Matt Patricia. Brian Flores, after Matt Patricia left, he was once the defensive coordinator in New England. After he left, Brian Flores stepped in for a couple of years. He was a defensive coordinator in New England. And now Brian Flores left New England. He's in Miami as a head coach. And why is he working where Matt Patricia, another understudy under Bill Belichick, did not work? Why? Because Brian Flores took the lessons he learned from Bill Belichick. Hey, Bill Belichick's a genius. A lot of good stuff you can learn from that guy about life, about football, about everything, I'm sure. He's very, very intelligent. But he took the lessons he learned, Brian Flores did, and put his own twist on them. He put his own spin on them. Matt Patricia tried too hard to be an exact copy of Bill Belichick, where Brian Flores said, I'm going to take the lessons and do my own thing, and people respond to that. People respond to authenticity. They do not respond to inauthenticity. And when Matt Patricia was cold to players and was not personable, it didn't work. People didn't like him. He lost games, and he got fired, and that is why Matt Patricia got fired. Instead of doing his own thing, taking the lessons he learned, putting his own spin on it, being original, he tried too hard to almost identically copy Bill Belichick, and it didn't work, and that's why Matt Patricia was fired by the Lions.